So Hopkins left, or he's leaving New England reportedly without a contract being inked, but that doesn't mean this isn't going to happen. I'm hearing from a bunch of people semi close to the situation, and there's a lot of other reports out there confirming this, that the Patriots are about to full court press on DeAndre Hopkins. Now remember that Bill Belichick loves this kid. Absolutely loves him. When I mean kid, I mean 1 year left, growing old. In fantasy football, he's almost irrelevant. But Hopkins, for 1 year in fantasy football, still has the potential to be a top 12 fantasy football wide receiver. Maybe top 7 to 12. Top 7 to 10, if you will, in the right spot. The question is New England that kind of location? Or does Hopkins turn into an overdrafted, hard to quantify type of fantasy football player walking into 2023? If you're best ball drafting right now, you need to make decisions right now on D-Hop. You can't sit back and wait for this thing to unfold. You're drafting him right now. In Dynasty, you know, maybe you're trying to trade him away before his value completely tanks. In New England, I don't know what his value is going to be. In Cleveland, I think it's pretty good. In Buffalo, in KC, it's really, really good. But the Patriots are a good landing spot for so many reasons, and Stevenson is one of them. We're going to talk about whether this is going to happen or not, what the news is looking like. I mean, we talked a lot about this over the last couple days, but this is fresh news. Leaving New England, doesn't have a contract, but hearing very, very good things about the meat. Let's talk about it. The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So Hopkins leaves New England, or is apparently departing New England. I don't know if he's already left or not, without a contract. But maybe something kicks into gear this evening, tomorrow. Maybe he goes back and visits with Cleveland. Maybe he just sits back and is patient right now because he's just disgusted at the fair market value out there for a guy like Hopkins. He probably thought he was going to get this massive contract, and his expectation level has just been wiped, annihilated, just completely crushed. All of his hopes and dreams getting this massive contract. I'm sure Dalvin Cook kind of thought he'd be getting, he will be getting something massive, and I don't think he will either. It sucks. When you're an older player and you've got 1 to 2 years left, not only do you not get the bag, but you don't have teams that you feel will be interested in you. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of shocked, because guess what? The Buffalo Bills and KC Chiefs and even the Philadelphia Eagles and even the Cincinnati Bengals, in my opinion, as much as I love all of those teams and organizations, I do, they're being very, reckless to leave Hopkins out there for one of the other teams I just mentioned. Like, every single one of those teams should be worried about the other one getting DeAndre Hopkins. But if they all hold out and they all don't go after him, then I guess there's no concern. But why? Why would you not want Hopkins if you were the Philadelphia Eagles? I'm not saying I want it for A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. I'm not saying I want this for Stephon Diggs and Dalton Kincaid. I'm not saying I want this for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Although every one of those quarterbacks gets a huge bump if they get Hopkins. So where somebody gets hit, another player gets a bump. I don't know. But all we know is what's in front of us right now. We've talked about this a lot over the past couple days, so I won't beat a dead horse on some of those topics that we've already discussed. But right here, Jeremy Fowler, ESPN, reports DeAndre Hopkins and the Patriots have finished a Thursday visit that started early in the morning and went well into the afternoon per sources. Definitely intrigue from a player and team coming out of it. Whether the results in a deal now, whether this results in a deal now or in the future remains unclear. So we'll see on that. Hopkins definitely, in my opinion, leaning a little bit New England. and then Cleveland. So I have this this table over here, this pie chart on my guesstimation. This is my Smitty's prediction and projection that New England's 55% likely to land him. I'd say that's about right. I'd say Cleveland, in my opinion, based on him not inking a deal here, Cleveland might become even a little bit more likely of these other scenarios, but that doesn't take or eat into the New England percentage. I'm going to say this feels like, I'm going to say this feels like a 25%er, a 55%er, a 25%er, other Tennessee. That's how I'm feeling right now. It could change. Maybe another gets involved. Maybe KC's been playing it coy. I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows. The Athletic is reporting that the Patriots are continuing to make a push for free agent DeAndre Hopkins after this Thursday visit ended without a contract agreement. And like I said, I'm hearing from several people, terms being tossed around like full court press, all in, gonna pull out all the stops, leave no stone unturned. And Bill Belichick wants him badly, is what I'm hearing. And I don't know what's true and what's not at this point. I think there's a lot of people, honestly, even some of the people that I kind of trust with this situation, that are trying to make headlines. Everybody's trying to make headlines. Hell, it's what we all do. And so I'm just being honest. I don't have anything other than whispers. I don't have any sort of hardcore, this is happening, it's going to happen. But I feel very strongly that Hopkins is very, very likely to be a New England Patriot, and I would guess that this team steps it up just a little bit to get this guy in here, because if you think about it from the Patriots' perspective, they believe they can win. Maybe you and I don't think they have a shot in that very tough division, where not only will they be hard-pressed to even dream of winning the division over the Buffalo Bills, over the Jets, or the Miami Dolphins. Like, these are three very, very tough teams. Very, very hard to imagine the New England Patriots winning the division. Let's just put it that way. Let's be as polite and gentle as we can. Not only that, though, it's very, very hard to imagine the New England Patriots getting one of the remaining three, or one of the three wildcard spots, when two of the teams in their division are probably taking and consuming two of those spots, or at least one of them. Whether the Buffalo Bills win the division or the New York Football Jets win the division. I kind of feel like at this moment the Jets might win the division. I really feel like if I have to predict, the Jets will win the division. Turmoil in Diggs land in Diggsville might just flip it for me a little bit. I'm feeling the New York Jets. If the Jets win the division, and then the Buffalo Bills surely grab one of the wild card spots, the Miami Dolphins are itching for one. I mean, this is going to be really, really hard. A very tall order for Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots to grab a wild card spot. But they believe they can do it. Doesn't matter what you and I think, what we believe. Bill and the Patriots think they can do it. And so when they're on the cusp in their mind of being a playoff contending team, and I do believe they are, I do believe Bill thinks he can do it. And honestly, Bill could do it. Bill's that good of a coach, but he's been kind of missing for a while. He hasn't had big weapons for a while. And he loves DeAndre Hopkins. And while he seems like the kind of guy that's not going to go after and buy brand new shiny toys, maybe he goes for the secondhand store and finds an absolute marvel. Hiding on the rack is DeAndre Hopkins. And DeAndre Hopkins, a guy he loves, he's publicly stated he loves. You constantly see footage of him talking to him like, oh, this guy I love. You're the best receiver in the league. You're going to lead the league in yardage. Every time he talks to the guy, he gives him a compliment. They're hugging it out. They're talking on the sidelines whenever they play against each other. Bill loves this guy. And I truly believe Bill feels this could be the difference maker, and this could be the situation where, how many years does Bill have left? How many years? We always think Bill's going to walk away. He doesn't. But how many years does he have left? He is in a mode where I think he's like, let's get some pieces and go for it rather than build and do everything in cheap fashion. I think he wants Hopkins. I think he wants Hopkins bad. I don't know why he didn't go after Lamar. I think if he would have went after Lamar, and I said this to, I believe, Belichick yourself, who might be watching right now. I said this over and over, and I appreciate everybody being in here. Hit that thumb up button. We've got about 80 people in here, and only 30 thumbs up. Michael K. CPA. By the way, Michael K. CPA, first in the building today. Michael K. CPA, I went through my audio archive, and I found this little beauty. Look at this, Michael K. Look at this number, if I could find it. Hold on. Where is it at? I thought I had it here, Michael. Hold on. Where is it? If I find it, I'll play it for you. I found a little audio file, an old school audio file of Michael K. CPA. Where is that at? I'll look for it. Appreciate everybody being in here. But Bill Belichick, in my opinion, and I told Belichick yourself this in the chat months and months ago, if the Patriots went after Lamar and signed Hopkins, they would be a threat to win the division. They would be a division-winning threat. They would be a playoff lock. They would be a potential Super Bowl caliber team with DeAndre Hopkins, Lamar Jackson, and Bill Belichick running the show. I truly believe this could have been something special. And Bill got the okay from the brass that he could go after Lamar if he wanted, and he didn't. He didn't seem to want to. He seems to want to, I think, go down the road he's got in front of him. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody in their right mind would expect Mac Jones to become the guy. He's not it. He's not it, pal. He's not it. Zappy, probably not it either, but Zappy's better than Mac. I'm not loving this, as you can tell, from a Hopkins perspective, but what I do love is Hopkins in New England so that Stevenson can have more room to run. I'm more worried about that. I don't want Kincaid to have affected value. Here it is, Michael. I found it. Here it is, Michael. Michael K. CPA, ladies and gentlemen.
He's Michael K. CPA. When you've got bills to pay, Michael K. CPA, he is here to stay.
Remember that, Michael? Did you ever hear that, Michael?
He's Michael K. CPA. When you've got bills to pay, Michael K. CPA, he is here to stay.
I think I'm obligated to play that whenever Michael K. CPA super chats moving forward. Just so you know, Michael K. No pressure. But anytime Michael K. CPA super chats, he gets it played. So, I don't know. Curious to know what you guys think. I think New England feels like a lock at this point, as much as a lock can be. I'm sorry, New England or Cleveland feels like a lock. So I'm going to say it that way. New England, Cleveland, right now feels like the closest thing to a lock, but this thing, the wind could blow in any direction at any moment, and things could spiral out of control. Okay, we got Isaac dropping a super chat. Isaac, appreciate you. Hopkins goes to the Patriots. Mac Jones will be a better QB than Pickett this season. LOL. Tell Ron Navy. You just told him. Yeah. So I feel like it is going to happen. I feel like it is going to be New England. 55. Well, I'd even maybe say this is inching toward 60%. 60% likelihood of that happening. Let's call this 20. Something along those lines. Garrett, appreciate you guys. Drop that Garrett emoji. Drop that that highest super chatter in a single live stream is Garrett. He's got the eggplant and gorilla emoji, the King Kong emoji. Let's go, Garrett. Appreciate you. Is Michael K. CPA in here? Did he even hear his song? Did he just come in and leave? I don't know where he is. Derek Lincoln, appreciate you being here. Paul, appreciate you. Isaac, Garling, Space Ricky, Zach, D Money, appreciate you all. Blackbeard, first in the building today was Matt Howell. I've always heard the playbook is hard to learn in New England. Maybe. I mean, I hear that too. Bama in the building, appreciate you all. Phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Hopkins, man. Hopkins, where's he playing? Derek, appreciate you. Who's calling in? Who's calling in to give me a prediction on Hopkins? Where's Michael K? There's Michael K, CPA. He says, yes, awesome, driving on the 405 of L.A. Hold on. You're driving in the car, listening to your own song. How ironic is that, Michael K?
He's Michael K, CPA. When you've got bills to pay, Michael K, CPA. He is here to stay.
How cool do you feel right now, Michael? You're driving down the street right now on the freeway, listening to your favorite show, and your own song comes on your favorite show. I mean, how much cooler can you be than Michael K, CPA right now? You can't.
Michael K, CPA. When you've got bills to pay, Michael K, CPA. He is here to stay.
Ron Navy, you're live.
What up, Smitty?
Are you on the road too? Are you and Michael crossing paths on the road right now? I can hear.
Yeah, I'm sitting here waiting on the wife to come out of the store on mobile right now.
Okay.
And I just, you got Isaac sending super chats, being a Steeler fan, speaking blasphemy. What the heck is up with Isaac? He can't be a true Steeler fan if he's speaking that blasphemy that he's speaking.
Is Isaac a true Steeler? Isaac, do you consider yourself a diehard Steeler fan? Is that what he said in the past, right? I don't know. I mean, maybe he just feels a certain way about Mac Jones. I don't know.
No, Isaac wants to get me riled up is what Isaac wants.
Maybe.
He wants the riled up Ron Navy to call in and
riled up Ron.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
He wants revenge Ron. Revenge Ron. I think you're right. I think it's looking like Hopkins is going to end up as a Belichick boy. Mm-hmm.
He likes those veteran receivers like Randy Moss and those types. So, yeah, it really wouldn't surprise me. But now here's the thing: will Hopkins like playing for Belichick? That's the question.
I mean, Hopkins may not. Right. Hopkins may think he likes Belichick because they get along really well outside of, coach and wide receiver, hierarchy.
Exactly.
Like, he loves him, he hugs him, he talks about him, but when he goes to work for him, how is that going to feel? Will it be buddy? I don't know. Bill does seem like the kind of guy and look, Hopkins is all business. As much as people want to rip on Hopkins for the PEDs and everything like that, Hopkins is a professional. Like, this guy is going to bring it. He's going to practice as hard as anybody. He's going to motivate other people. He's going to, the only thing Bill probably wouldn't like of Hopkins is like the trash talk or something, because Bill's not a huge trash talk guy. But Hopkins is like, I don't even know how you could yell at Hopkins. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Hopkins will ever. The only problem Hopkins is going to have is if Bill calls, if the wrong plays are called, and he gets upset that he's not getting the football. Like, I could see that happening, but I don't think these guys will argue too much. I mean, Hopkins is such a good wide receiver. I feel like he's undervalued. I feel like he's very, very undervalued. If he went to the right place, like the Kansas City Chiefs or even the Buffalo Bills, even with Diggs there, the Buffalo Bills made a lot of sense to me, and they still kind of do, even though I don't want him there for Kincaid. I really don't. But from a football perspective, from a logical point of view, this is a guy that would eat into Diggs' production. This is not a guy that would just lay down and say Diggs is the main guy. This guy's been double-teamed his entire career, and it would be very interesting to see him in a place where they couldn't double-team him on the other side of the football. Because he's never been in that situation, ever. Like, so Diggs is on the other side.
The positive thing is the Patriots got to play Miami twice. They got to play the Jets twice. They got to play the Bills twice. Those are all high potent offenses. So Hopkins by going to New England, he has the ability to really shine there as the number one receiver, getting the volume that he gets, that he commands, if Mac Jones can get him the dang ball. But it could be a really good for fantasy, that is. He's not going to win a Super Bowl, but for fantasy owners, he could be really good in New England.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know in fantasy he's going to do well there. But I do feel like he could be a really good football player for Bill and help the New England Patriots play a lot better. But again, when I close my eyes and picture the outcome, I don't see how the Patriots make the playoffs, let alone finish.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they make the playoffs at all.
I know.
I'm just saying he's going to get his 8 to 10 catches per game if Mac Jones can get him the ball. He's going to get the volume, and so he's going to be relevant in the fantasy world, especially with like the bringbacks, like in best ball. Hopkins is going to be a smash there for fantasy owners.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel like he'll be as good as anywhere near as good as he would be in Buffalo and like even Cleveland, but will he be a 1,100, 1,200 yard, 1,300 yard receiver with like low touchdowns? Yeah, I think he will get the receptions and the yardage. I don't know that he can breach like 10 TDs in that situation, but you never know. You never know. What if Zappy goes in there and Zappy is – because I don't think Mac does it. I don't think Mac can do it. I just don't think so. But Zappy's like the wild card here. I know we're all like a little hesitant to say Zappy's – between the two of them, they have a not an elite quarterback, but a much better quarterback, like kind of like Purdy, where nobody really thought he was going to be as good as he was. Could Zappy come in there and feed Hopkins 9-10 touchdowns? That is his only shot, I think, and it's possible. But I can't stand Mac Jones. I don't hate Mac Jones. He seems like a nice guy, a really good guy. I don't hate his personality at it, but I don't think he's the real deal at all. I think Mac Jones is not an elite quarterback whatsoever. I think Zappy's way better. And I don't even love Zappy. I think it's like when you put something mediocre next to something bad, it makes the mediocre thing look good. I think that's what we're experiencing with Zappy, but I think Mac Jones isn't it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Mac comes around this year. Maybe Mac just needed a wide receiver. A lot of people say if you give him a weapon, then judge him. And I can respect that take, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, who's there? Thornton's is, Thornton and Parker. Parker's not going to be nothing there. I mean, you got tight end who's like Getsky.
Yeah.
He can catch, but I mean, the volume's going to be there for Hopkins. See, if he goes to Buffalo, there's too much. He's got to compete with Diggs. He's got to compete with Gabe. He's got to compete with Kincaid. I just don't like a place where he has to compete so much for the volume that he gets. So New England, I'm good with New England. I'm good with Tennessee. Either one of those, I'm good with.
Yeah.
Where he can stand out, be the Hopkins that we love, getting the 8 to 10 catches per game. That's where I feel. Yeah,
this was dropped about 11 minutes ago. Appreciate Isaac mentioning it too. This right here was about 11 minutes ago. Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins sat out minicamp over his contract situation. The business side is very hard. It's very different, Dobbins told WJZ 13 Sports Radio. It's never just roses and daisies. It can be hard at times. We'll see what happens here. This guy's got a lot of balls, though. This guy's got a lot of balls. What has he done to deserve a big fat contract? No offense, J.K. Dobbins, but I like you, pal, and I think he's ultra talented. But what set of big brass balls this guy has to think he can sit out and command money like Saquon Barkley right now. Like, he's got to put together a healthy season before he can come out and start saying things like, who the hell is going to pay this guy a massive amount of money when he hasn't been able to stay on the field? Like, you get out of here, J.K. Dobbins. What are you doing? What in the hell are you thinking?
I think the NFL running backs need a mini running back union inside the player. Because they're all getting the short end of the stick, and so they all need to get together and they all need to unify themselves and push for a change in the NFL, their value in the NFL. Because if you think about it, their value should be even higher because the years that they can play is lower, and they're taking more physical physicality than any other position except for the line,
Yeah, but
which are bigger guys.
you just
They're
need to
built
add.
for it,
You
so.
just need to add some sort of like higher tier rookie contract salary range. That's all you can do. There's nothing else to. There's definitely something that needs to be done or looked at, but at the same time, you know, like you gotta also produce, you know. And when you're a guy like J.K. Dobbins, maybe this makes sense in the Barkley conversation, but J.K. doesn't open any conversation doors. Like, oh yeah, J.K. deserves it. J.K. doesn't deserve anything yet. Like, I like J.K. Dobbins. I'm really hopeful he does something strong this year, but he doesn't have a leg to stand on, and his legs are always hurt. So how can he stand on them anyway? What's this guy doing? Like, he's holding out more than Barkley's holding out. Like, what's he doing? Yeah, I don't think this goes anywhere for JK. I don't think the Ravens are scared. The Ravens rotate running backs all the time. They'll just move on. Like, they'll figure something out. They'll bring in Zeke Elliott. You know, J.K. Dobbins. I don't think he moves.
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook would be a great fit in a way. But J.K. I am excited about J.K. There's a lot of upside in fantasy, but this is going to certainly put a little fork in the drafting of him for now. Like, his value will drop a little bit, which is good. We'll have to assess it and see if it makes him attractive to buy. But I don't think I'm going near him until this is resolved. And how can he afford to hold? Like, what's going on? What's his contract even look like? Hold on, let me look.
I didn't even know what was going on with. I thought he was like injured or something. I saw it held out of minicamp. That's all I read, and I didn't really get a chance to read into it. And now I know because you just reported on it. But I was in the draft earlier, and I kind of like faded. I'm like, oh no, he's injured again. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we thought of, like, you know, Knox, and you just don't know. Day one's weird, and we haven't heard if Diggs is getting fined yet. Like, no, they better look into this, because Diggs deserves to be fined if Diggs didn't show up for day one. If they're going to excuse it somehow after the fact, somebody needs to look into the details of that, because that's there for a reason now. And everybody else is held to that standard. And I might be wrong on whether, you know, maybe we don't know when he was actually fined and they're just not making it public. But it feels like nobody knows whether Diggs was fined. And, it might have been excused. You know, like, Diggs, we're going to go ahead and write in that you showed up to, we'll go ahead and mark a present on your attendance sheet for day one. But here's J.K. Dobbins' salary. Now, no one's saying that, you know, he shouldn't be getting paid maybe more. But let's do something first before we come out and act like we deserve to hold out. Like, what kind of message is this sending? You know, that any running back can hold out now. Now a running back can just hold out. Like, how is he gonna hold out? What's going on here? He's an unrestricted free agent next year. He's on a $1 million salary, $1.3 million salary with a $431,000 signing bonus. How in the hell is this guy going to afford holding out?
You play this year and hope you can get it back. How old is he now? I mean, is he, 25, 26?
Let me find his exact birthday. Let's see here.
Maybe he's younger than that. Maybe he's younger than I thought he was.
No, I don't think he's younger than that. He's turning 25 this year. It's right there. Yeah. Okay. Turning 25 this year. Played 2 years in the NFL and is holding out. I mean, he was out 2021. He's out 2021. But here, look at his game log. These are not the numbers. I know he scored like 9 touchdowns on the ground in 2020. I mean, so that was definitely a good year. But these are not the numbers. 2022 out for 2021. 2022 520 yards, 2 touchdowns in 2022 last year. Coming back from the ACL tear, out for 2021. In 2020, he had 805 yards and the impressive 9 scores. These aren't the numbers or the game logs that you can hold out. Not going to happen.
Yeah, he should just play his butt off this year and try to get the bag next year by playing his butt off this year. He'll still be young enough. He'll still have technically a few years left. So if he could get a 2 to 3 year contract after this year, if he balls out, shows that he can go the whole year without injury and get like 10 touchdowns.
Yeah. You hold out when you've done something amazing. Deebo Samuel was the perfect example of a player that did what he needed to do the year prior to his contract expiring. You push for an extension, and you also push for an extension. You're kind of in a holdout situation when you're too good to let go, and yet they're worried about that they're going to have to lock you up for more money the next year. I don't think the Ravens are scared. I think they like him a lot, but the Ravens, this guy's walking into a free agent or a contract year right here. He's walking into a contract year. And he's playing the card, I should be getting extended. You're afraid to lose me. They're not afraid of anything. They're not afraid to lose this guy. If he ends up being so good that they made a mistake, they'll franchise tag him. So he's got no leverage. The only leverage he has is that they're like, okay, we really do want to get the continuity of this new offense with Monken going, and we want him in there. He's a big part of it. We really like him. Let's give him a little, like Eckler got, a little like bonus or something. Like a little like, hey, here's $1 million incentive bonus. Or let's up some incentives for him. Let's do something like that. I don't think they're looking at giving him a 2 or 3 year deal now. They're not.
They can't franchise tag him if he's not unrestricted free agent come next year, can they?
You can franchise tag anybody that has him. Yeah. That's when you franchise tag somebody. When they're a restricted free agent, you don't need to franchise tag them. So,
okay,
yeah, players are more often franchise tagged when they're unrestricted free agents. They think they're free. Like Jacobs wanted to go elsewhere, and they said no, we're franchise tagging you. Jacobs said, "Fiat."
Yeah, these running backs take it up the butt a lot.
Yeah, it's not very good for the market is tough for running backs. Running backs definitely are not in good position.
And who's going to want to come out of college and play the running back position? I mean, they're killing the NFL is killing the running back position basically because nobody's going to want to play that position because it's not lucrative for them. It doesn't pay for the much physical abuse that they get in that position. They just don't. They're so underpaid. It's not even funny.
Yeah. Electro.
I mean, that's the truth.
Electro celebrating 4 months on the YouTube exclusive membership. Appreciate you, Electro. He says, thank you for all you do, Smitty, to the moon. Appreciate you, Electro. To the moon.
To the moon.
Thank you for being a YouTube exclusive member. If any of you want to become one, I'm going to drop the link in a second, but you can also head on over, click on this join button on desktop. Right below that is a membership link right below the join button. The merch store is the link right next to that. And then on mobile, memberships is right there. You click on memberships. The YouTube merch store is right next to that. And then let me drop that link if anybody wants to become a $1.99 YouTube exclusive member. It is right here. I've dropped the link. Go ahead and click that bad boy if you would like a green name and all the emojis. By the way, I dropped a new emoji if anybody noticed. Can anybody find the new emoji? Let's see if you guys can find it. I'm going to pin that link if anybody wants to become a YouTube exclusive member. I'll go ahead and drop the new emoji if nobody else can find it.
Speaking of members, guess what I got today?
Your Moon Man card.
I got my Moon Man card.
Attaboy. And your shirt?
And I got the shirt. Yeah, everything all in one.
First person to find the new emoji was Blackbeard, by the way.
Yeah, I can't look for it. I'm mobile, so I don't even see the chat right now.
It's sorry, I didn't switch the screen over. It's another T-Law emoji. It's the T-Law and a glass of milk.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I might switch them out. So like T-Law doesn't necessarily need two emojis, so I might move T-Law's other emoji out of there and replace it with someone else. But I think this one's here to stay for T-Law. It's the milk and such. And here, let me play that for everybody who hasn't seen it yet. Here are the T-Law little videos.
A lion lives among us, posing as half man, half lawman. His golden mane is reportedly 6 feet long and is bathed in milk.
That's right.
His marvelous mane grows longer with each breath he takes. Legend has it that if you say T-Law in the dark in the bathroom 3 times, you lose your league instantly. Conspiracy fanatics have linked his triangle bone structure to the ancient pyramids and alien theory. Law Dog Milk for manes on sale this season. Soak your mane and win a league. Law Dog Milk.
Pour, soak, win. It's that simple. Pal Derby in the building. Appreciate Pal Derby. Space Ricky, Swaggy, Matt, Travis Rowe, Paul, Kilpatrick, Prime. Everybody in the building. Call in. The phone lines are open if anybody wants to dial in. I'll put the number on screen. So, Hopkins, you think he signs by what? A couple days? Ron?
Yeah, I mean, he should. I mean, if they make him the deal and nobody else makes him a deal, then, yeah, he should be signed no later than Monday.
I wonder how long
Monday's a holiday.
I wonder how long J.K. Dobbins holds out. I don't know if he can afford to hold out that long. That's crazy, man. What in the hell is he thinking? Who's
I don't
advising
think he'll hold out that long.
Who's advising him? Yeah, bro, you totally proved it. Like, this is the year where he goes out, does it, and he's going to go get the bag, or he's going to get franchise tag for whatever the franchise tag amount is next year. If it's $11 million, whatever it ends up being. Anthony dropping a $20
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
I got in there before I closed. That's not very many people.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
Underdog
only get one entry.
Underdog Fantasy, they have I don't it's not up anymore, Ron? The Golden?
I think it's full already, but the Dalmatian 2 is open.
Yeah, Dalmatian 2.
They opened up the Dalmatian 2.
Yeah, Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Get in there and try and jump in some of these tournaments before they leave. But even if they leave, there's so much goodness to have on these over-unders. They're absolutely crazy. These like this T-Law one's phenomenal. The 26.5 touchdowns. They took it away, and then they brought it back. Because I think we hit it so hard, they probably thought, oh, this one's weird. Like, whenever they get like a surplus of hires or a surplus of lowers, they probably think we got to relook at it. And they looked at it. They're like, no, our data says this is right. And they threw it back out there. So take Underdog's money. Higher on 26.5 TDs on Trevor Lawrence. That is on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty. The link is being dropped as we speak in the live chat. And when we're going to draft tonight, if anybody wants to draft tonight, we'll do like a Garrett Wilson draft because we won't have any more puppy. Well, actually, the puppy's still going, right? Or is it? No, the puppy's gone.
Puppy's full.
Yeah, so we'll be doing a Garrett Wilson draft. I've pinned that link if anybody wants to draft with us tonight. What is a Garrett Wilson draft, you ask? It is essentially a private league we do, and we're going to do like 50 of them or whatever. And the winner through week 17 with the highest scoring team across all of the leagues and drafts that we do, and you can get in every one of the drafts of 12. The highest scoring team will get the autographed Garrett Wilson jersey. And each individual league has a small prize pool, with the $3 entry. You win like $20 for first or something. But each one of these little tiny private leagues, you can win $20 every time you win one. But the total high scoring person is going to get the Garrett Wilson autographed jersey. And hold on one second, Ron. We got a 609 caller. You're live. 609, you're live.
Hey, what's going on, Smitty?
Who's this?
This is Dogman Chowdy.
Dogman Chowdy?
Dogman Chowdy. This is Matt. I just want to say Ron sniped me earlier in the Golden.
Howdy. Oh yeah, what did he snipe you? And real quickly, can you spell your dog man what?
Dog mentality. MENT.
Dog mentality. I thought you said dog man howdy or dog man. Okay, dog mentality.
Sorry about that. First time caller here.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you name yourself this time. Go. Okay, dog mentality. What did Ron steal from you?
I was next to Ron earlier, and I let him have Goddard. I saw he had Hurts, and I let him have Goddard. Took Waller. Then he got Penny, the spot right before me. I had Swift.
I don't think he knew you were in there. He probably wasn't paying attention to that.
No, I didn't. I'm looking at it now.
I know. I'm just messing around. I thought it was funny.
You got a really good.
Everybody kept falling to
really good. You ended up with a really great running back room. I love your running back room. He ended up with CC, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, DeAndre Swift, and Khalil Herbert is his running back room. He ended up with great running backs, I think.
Yeah, it kept falling to me. I think I'm good on the running backs, but then I went a little soft on the wide receivers because I kept having to take what fell to me.
Yeah, you are a little soft there. But you got Darren Waller and Sam Laporta as your tight ends, and you got T-Law and Derek Carr as your quarterback, so you did all right there.
Dog mentality.
Yeah, you got
Dog mentality. What can I do for you, pal?
I was just calling in to say hi, and then I was drafting with Ron earlier, and love the show, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you. What do you think of Hopkins? Where's Hopkins gonna be, and how long is it gonna take, and what's going on with J.K. in your mind? J.K. Dobbins with this holdout.
I don't know, man. I think he's gonna take his sweet time. I think Hopkins is gonna take his sweet time, but it would be crazy if he went to New England. I think. I don't know about Mac throwing them the ball, but I think that offense is going to be a lot better with O'Brien now at the helm. And, I don't know. I think, would you say J.K. Dobbins?
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins is holding out.
I didn't even hear about that. I was working all day. I didn't really get to catch up on any news. I just tuned into the show now. I'm a little late, so.
Yeah. Yeah, J.K. Dobbins' report is here. Adam Schefter retweeted this report here that Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins sat out minicamp over his contract and, quote, said on WJZ 13 Sports, J.K. said, the business side is very hard. It's very different, Dobbins told WJZ 13 Sports. It's never just roses and daisies. It can be hard at times, said J.K. Well, that's because he hasn't been on the field, and while I like JK and I want JK to know that if JK's watching right now, which he's probably not, but if he is, I like you, pal. You got a lot of upside, but you got one big set of brass balls on you to think you can hold out for a contract when you've never really played. You had 800 yards and 9 touchdowns, which was really impressive in 2020. I mean, real impressive, but missing 2021. And not really being healthy or playing up to speed in 2022. Like, what are you doing? How in the hell do you get a big fat contract extension when you've been missing for 2 years? Not your fault necessarily, but you got to go out there and earn it. He's got to earn it. He's got to have that big dog mentality like you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Especially how the running back market is too these days. He's crazy for doing that.
We got 10 the moon. Zach gifting 10 gifted memberships. Zach, my guy, appreciate you doing that, guys. 10 gifted memberships incoming. Get ready for those. Hold on, Scott's calling in. Let's see what Scott wants. Scott, you're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
What's going on, Smitty?
What's up, pal?
I got a question for you. I got a pick here about 4, and so I have 2 questions. One.
We can't hear you, man. It sounds like you're talking inside of a porta potty. Hello?
How's this?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I got Bijan in the first round of this
Bijan?
draft.
Who? Bijan? Bijan?
Bijan.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Anyway.
Okay.
You know, and I've got that a lot in some of these drafts. Do you want to pair London or Pitts on the same team with him?
Yeah, I don't mind pairing London. I don't like pairing London and Pitts together an awful lot. Not that I hate it in best ball, but I don't like go out of my way to do it. When I do it, there's moments of where I'm like, do I want to do this? But pairing London and Bijan together, I'm totally fine with that. I have no reservations. Even at redraft, I have no reservations on that.
And then my other question is, out of these 5 receivers, Ridley, Hopkins, Godwin, Judy, and McLaurin, which one do you rank first?
Ridley, Hopkins, Judy, Godwin, McLaurin?
Yeah.
Okay, I would say Ridley by far. Hopkins, it depends where he goes, but we got to assume the worst at this point because the 2 lead dog candidates are Cleveland and New England, one of which I don't think makes him Ridley capable. I think he's good. Like, Ron says he likes him in New England. I can understand the argument. I do. I can. It depends on how you view Mac. If you like Mac a lot, then maybe he can, produce like a 1,100 yard and an 8 touchdown season or something. But I think Ridley by a mile. Ridley's the only guy that I would contemplate in the 3rd round. McLaurin I like, but I like Dodson better. And I know not everybody agrees with me, and that's okay. But I would say Ridley, then space, tier break, and then it would probably be Hopkins and McLaurin together. And I'm not drafting Judy at all. It's not that I don't like Judy, but Judy's going in the 4th round a lot of the time, and I don't understand it at all.
This is a 5th round. And
fourth round.
You're going to have some combination of those 5 guys. There's 4 picks ahead of me. And London's still in front, and Pitts and Watson, and I don't expect those guys to get to me. And
you never know.
Yeah, London falls sometimes. I don't know why, but he does. He's great. So if London's there, you take London. If not, you take Ridley, because Ridley shouldn't be there either.
Now this is
Ridley goes.
This is a pre-draft. Yeah,
Ridley's going real quick.
With having Bijan, you still take London?
It's not Bijan. It's not. We're taking away your Bijan card.
Your Bijan card has
You
been
can't. I've got him drafted freaking 60% of the time.
You'll learn. Bijan.
Bijan. Is that right? Is that better?
Bijan. Yeah. Hey, Ridley, my guy. Definitely Ridley.
Okay. Now, I've only got the one running back because I've got right now through the first 4 rounds, I've got Bijan.
No, you're.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
I got Robinson.
There you go, Robinson. Call him Robinson.
I got Robinson with Diggs in the 2nd, Fields in the 3rd, Allen in the 4th.
It's like it's a mustard. Jean.
And
I'm sorry. Read off your team. Read off your team one more time. You got Robinson. Okay, who else?
Robinson took Diggs in the 2nd, Fields in the 3rd, and Allen in the 4th.
Allen?
Josh Allen?
Yeah. Keenan.
Okay, so let me just tell you right now.
I got Fields in the 3rd.
Yeah, this is a 1 QB.
1 QB, 3 receivers, and 2 backs.
Okay, so let me just. I'm gonna hit you straight. Look, I'm your coach. Okay, when I yell at you, high knees. This is Scott, right? Yeah. High knees, Scott. Yeah. High knees, Scott. It's not Bijan. It's Bijan, Scott. Don't take offense to it. I'm not riding you because I'm mad at you. I'm riding you because I see potential in you, Scotty. Okay? But Bijan was a great pick. Diggs, that's a fantastic 2nd rounder. We've talked about Diggs being risky, but not in the 2nd round. So you did great. Fields has 5th round value. You took him in the 3rd. You just told me you took him in the 3rd like you were gonna get a pat on the back, but you're not gonna get a pat on the back because unless it's a
you
super.
You have to understand the draft. Every quarterback was gone.
Well, it could have been every quarterback was
This-
gone. He's the
this-
fifth or sixth ranked quarterback, but
This draft had 9 quarterbacks taken in the first 3 rounds.
well, I almost
Weird.
that's. Are you sure you're not in a super flex, Scott?
Positive.
Are you sure?
It was a crazy run.
That doesn't sound right. That doesn't compute. How many quarterbacks?
I'm with you.
How many?
I'm
Hold
totally
on.
freaking out.
Hold on. Then how in the hell do you have Keenan Allen in the 4th round if 87 quarterbacks went in the first 3 rounds, Scott? How do you not have somebody like Garrett Wilson sitting there?
4 rounds.
You what?
9 quarterbacks in the first 4 rounds went.
Okay, so Scott, again, this is just me trying to help you. Keenan Allen doesn't belong in the 4th round at all. That's way too early, bro. There's probably like a monster sitting there that you overlooked. Like I would have taken London there versus Keenan Allen. I would have taken Watson there. Keenan Allen is dead man walking.
Why is that?
I mean,
the points per game. He was what 11 points per game at receiver.
He's never healthy.
And I got him at.
He's
never. Got him at receiver 16 or something, 14, something like that.
Yeah, look at the chat. They'll tell you Keenan Allen in the 4th is a huge reach. Even if you like him to bounce back, his ADP is nowhere in the 4th round. So regardless of what you got to keep you. No one's telling you to draft based on ADP. My whole theory and how I try and get you to think is you draft manipulating ADP. Okay, Ziggy, show me the front door. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm waiting for like 2 packages. Okay, that's Miss Smitty. Ziggy off. You gotta manipulate ADP, bro. You have to manipulate ADP. Meaning, if Allen's a 5th or 6th rounder, you've gotta completely use that to your advantage. Not take him because you see potential in him, or he's 11th in scoring or whatever you're looking at. Then use that to your advantage. Like you found a piece of information in your particular scoring format. I don't know if that's true in every scoring format, to be honest. But Allen's always hurt. His ADP is not in the 4th round, and you could have had a slam dunk in your mind if you'd taken him in the right territory. Fields, how many quarterbacks were gone?
Underdog, he was being taken 40th, and I got him at. He was underdog. He's, I think, 39.8, and I got him at the 40th pick.
I don't know if he's. Let me look at the ADP. If I'm wrong on his ADP, then I'm sorry to yell at you, but I don't think he should be drafted there at all, though. So hold on, let me look at the ADP.
Yeah.
Let me look at the ADP.
Looked at the ADP.
I think he's been pushed up.
The underdog ADP draft.
Yeah.
Still.
Okay.
There's still receivers there that you could have got better.
Yeah, I'd say this. So my fault.
I hate Debo.
Hey.
I didn't want anything to do with Debo. There wasn't.
I'd take Debo over Keenan Allen, though.
Got off the board.
So let me apologize. Coach is trying to say sorry. I didn't realize his ADP moved up the last couple days. It did. It moved up. You didn't reach based on ADP. Okay, so I'm going to take a lap on that one. Hold on. Here we go. Now I'm going to say, what in the hell are all you doing drafting Keenan Allen to move his ADP up to 39, 40 overall? That is the biggest bunch of garbage I've ever seen in my life.
That used to be where Gibbs was at.
I think he still has another year in him. You know,
Okay.
I met his trainer, and she said he's such a diva, and he just, when he gets hurt, doesn't play through it.
Okay, so my fault on not knowing that ADP moved. That's crazy, though, to me, that he moved. Okay, so he moved up, but like Ron said, there are so many other better receivers. And hey, if you like Keenan Allen, bro, don't let me talk you out of it, whatever. But Fields, is Trevor Lawrence available right now? I highly doubt it, right?
No, 9 quarterbacks went in the first. The 10th one just went at 5.2.
Okay. I still feel like
it's the craziest draft I've ever been involved in.
I still feel like I would have taken advantage of that, and you would have probably been seeing somebody there in the 3rd round that should not even been close to being there. Like, let me ask you this: was Jahmyr Gibbs available when you took Keenan Allen? Probably was.
No.
Really? With that many quarterbacks gone, this is hard to imagine.
Yeah, he went about
4 picks before I took Allen. I took Fields, and the reason I did is that somebody had traded up to 4.2, and I had 3.9. And I was looking at his team, and I'm like, he's coming for a quarterback. Fields had never come back around to me, and he was the last running cheat code quarterback, so I had to go for him.
Look, I would say this. If you didn't take Keenan Allen, I think I still would have been on board. Like, if you would have said, hey, Smitty, I took Bijan, I took Diggs, I took Fields, and I took London, I probably would have said, bro, you know, reached a little bit on Fields, but I still love the quad. I love the 4. Keenan Allen just kind of like, it's like you reach on Fields and then you take Keenan Allen and then it just falls flat for me. Like, I could have rebounded in my mind looking at this if that was just like a London or a Watson or someone like that. But look, hey, if you believe in Allen, trust your gut. What do I know? But I would say, I would say, you what?
They're still on the board, and I'm only 4 picks away.
I know. I wish you would have. I wish you would have. But hey, it's in the past. Okay, we're gonna have you. Somebody dropped something here. London.
What about J.K. my next pick if he's still there?
Who?
J.K.
J.K. Dobbins. He's holding out.
I like that 5.9 yards per carry he's averaging
Yeah,
for his career.
I bet you do. But he's not going to be averaging anything if he's sitting out the season.
You think that's really possible?
Well, he sat out today. This for day one of his holdout.
Okay.
Yeah.
I took Gus Edwards late a lot of drafts.
Hey, yeah. Hey, can you mute real quick? Whoever's is that Dog Mentality or is that Scott that has like or is that Ron? If everybody can mute real quick except for Scott.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, just real quick. Dog Mentality. I'm coming right back to you. Okay, Scott, give me the top 5 running backs listed on ADP and the top 5 wide receivers listed on ADP, and let me see if I can help you.
All right, we got Dobbins, White, Swift, Cook, and Akers. And which I may just wait and try to take Akers because he looks like he's going to be the workhorse out there. And I've got London, Watson, Ridley, Hopkins, Godwin, and Judy and McLaurin still sitting there with only 4 picks. So, and Pitts is still on the board. There's a good shot he gets pulled.
Man, I'm just telling you.
Prescott's still out there, and there's 2 guys that don't have quarterbacks. They might be panicking and grab him.
And you're positive this is not a super flex, bro?
I'm totally positive.
Okay.
I've been doing this shit for 20 years.
Okay, I'm just checking. Well, you're saying that the quarterbacks flew off in a weird way. Okay, so London, Ridley, Watson, those are your top guys. I probably would rank them in order of I go back and forth on London and Watson, but those are the top 2 guys, and Ridley would be the third. And if you're 4 picks away, you should be good to go on getting one of those, I imagine, especially with the quarterback, scarcity in this league. So,
you've seen those runs happen from time to time in these redrafts. This was the craziest run I ever saw.
Well,
and
that's why I wonder if you missed a proxy vote or something on making it into a super flex.
No, this is just
everybody raise your hand if we're gonna turn into a super flex. This guy's off watching Keenan Allen film.
Just kidding, Scott. Is just a standard redraft on Data Force, and that's it. Man.
Well, hey Scott, I really like the top 3 players though. I think you have a top 5 quarterback. I think you've got a top 5 wide receiver. Let's just hope he can keep it together. We got Bijan being the number 1 running back in my mind. So you have a top 5 running back. You have 3 top 5 players right there at each position. That is phenomenal. Okay, so I want to give you some positivity there. I didn't like the Keenan Allen pick. I think you would have been running away with it, even with the Fields reach, which, as I say to all of you, you can reach one huge time, and if you get back on track, it doesn't matter. Like if you would have gotten London and Ridley, or London and Watson, or Ridley and Watson, you would have been, I think, a near favorite coming out of the gate. But maybe Keenan Allen plays somewhat close to that, and you're good to go. So trust your gut. Just make sure you smash London, Ridley, or Watson next. Don't mess around with Akers or someone like that yet. And I'd keep an eye on. Let's see here. Keep an eye on. Is Kenneth Walker available?
No, he's gone. Somebody took him second round.
Keep an eye on Kamara and Charbonnet later on. Keep an eye on.
Why do people keep pushing Kamara? I mean, the dude might sit out half the season.
Well, that's driving down his ADP, and you're also putting a whole lot of faith in the NFL, Scott. You're using your own logic, not the NFL's logic. The NFL. Do you really believe the NFL is going to suspend this guy for half a season? They haven't done a single thing yet. Do you think the team's going to step forward? I can answer that for you. No, the team's already said we're not doing anything until the NFL does something, so we're planning on having Kamara until they take him away from us. They don't care. They're not taking a stand. Nobody gives a shit, bro. Nobody gives a shit about what Kamara did. And it's a shame because, honestly, as much as I'm drafting Kamara, you guys understand that I still have him on the planet Uranus list?
And off he goes.
You know, he's still on this list. He's still here. He's one of the kings of planet Uranus.
That's a wasted draft pick, I think.
I take him. Just make sure you don't take him too early. But he's a great player to just draft, and he's one of your running back rotational third running backs or whatever. But Charbonnet is a really good pick. Tank Dell in like the 14th round. Go after Tank Dell, rookie wide receiver for the Houston Texans. Yeah. And go get after it, Scott. You got this. We got you. Call back with your team too. You can hang on hold. I'm not hanging up on you, but just call back once you have your team, and we'll go over it.
I would. I'm down to about 4% on my phone. I got to jump off here.
Okay. All right.
He could take a chance on Richardson too, as a second quarterback. Then he'd have two.
Especially when you find out it's a super flex, Scott, and you can have that locked down. All right, Scott, go practice Bijan. Go practice Sam Bijan and come back, and we'll give you back your Bijan card. Appreciate you. Hey, Scott, you can call back once you charge your phone. Something's not adding up. He hasn't charged his phone. Quarterbacks are flying off the board more than normal. I don't know. It seems like awfully odd. But, Scott, I appreciate you, and I hope Scott didn't take that wrong just because we took away his Bijan card. Dog mentality. You got anything you want to ask or add? OG Official just become a loyal YouTube exclusive member.
To the moon.
OEG to the house. Dog mentality.
I got nothing, Smitty, but I got to run. It was good talking to you.
All right. Later, pal. Appreciate you.
I'll have to finish the show a little later.
Later. Yeah, I don't know, Ron. I felt like me and Scott aren't on the same page. He's like, I took Keenan Allen. I'm going to go ahead and get Akers next. Just like, man, I don't know if Scott and I is going to work out.
Well, it is possible that there was a quarterback run. I mean, if you think about it, right? So you got Mahomes, Allen, Joe Burrow and Hurts all come off. I mean, who do you got after that? You got Lamar Jackson comes off.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what, though? Who is sitting there, though, in the third round if that many quarterbacks came off the board? I just want to know. That's all. Like, who is he looking at? Because I would be tempted to go Fields if they were all flying off, and I'm like, crap, man, this crew doesn't know what they're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and just take Fields because I want a big player. Or do you go Aaron Rodgers, Anthony Richardson combination later, and you find yourself in Olave in round 3? You know what I mean? Like, I bet you Olave was sitting there when Fields was on the clock. And I would just, if I had the details, I'm pretty sure I'm smelling something fishy. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean I don't appreciate you, Scott. You're my boy, Blue. We took away your Bijan card, but that's okay. You'll get it back. You'll get it back.
Smitty,
yeah.
The wife is finally coming out of the store. I'm out of here. I'll talk to everybody later, and I'll watching the show when I get home.
Later on. Phone line's open. Everybody on one call. Do I smell funny? Like everybody's bailing on the phone line all at once. I'm at 4%. I gotta go. I'm on the road. Wife's coming. Everybody bails on me at once. The phone line's wide open. Dial in 602. Here it is.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I just feel like maybe Olave was there in the third round. That's the only thing. Gibbs, Olave, those guys like falling, that makes it a little bit more intriguing when all those quarterbacks are gone. I have White, but was offered Akers, so curious to hear other thoughts. I mean, Akers and Rashad White are kind of in the same boat for me. There's a lot of concern around the situation. I mean, Tampa's just awful. Akers is injury prone. I guess I would go Akers over. I don't know. Maybe I'd go Rashad White over Akers. I don't know. I don't love either one of them right now. I would call, but my mom's calling me Smitty. Okay, Alex. No problem, bro. Trey's dialing in. Trey, singular. What's up, Trey?
What's going on, Smitty? How you doing?
Not to be confused as Trey. This is Trey singular. What's up? I'm good, Trey.
There we go. Yeah, that was a little interesting, little back and forth there with the Fields at the first round. I'm convinced he took him a little early.
Yeah, and I'm one to tell you, I just did a video, don't be afraid to go QB early, but we're talking about ADP data. ADP data says that Fields is a fifth rounder. To draft Fields in the third round means you're forcing it, and you just got to ask yourself if you could get a Richardson and Aaron Rodgers combination and see Olave sitting there in round 3, like Olave, it feels like Olave, that feels like a recipe for getting Olave and Gibbs, in the third and fourth round. Is the only thing I would be looking at.
Exactly.
But who knows? I mean, Scott said Gibbs was gone. I trust him. So, tough to know. What can I do for you, Trey?
I just had a question. I'm sure you've seen with Alex. What do you think of Alexander Madison, his ADP rising, and where he should sit around?
He has climbed to running back, it looks like on Underdog as of this moment, running back 20. Which puts him at 64 overall, which puts him right above Damian Pierce, DeAndre Swift, Cam Akers, Dalvin Cook, Isaiah Pacheco, Rashad White, David Montgomery, James Conner. I don't think that's bad at all. I don't think he's climbed too high at all to be worried about that. I think that's good. If he climbs, let's say, above Kenneth Walker and Gibbs, then yeah, you're going to want to back up off that. But J.K. Dobbins is ahead of him. Miles Sanders is ahead of him. And even if he climbed ahead of both of those guys, I'd be fine with it. But any higher than that, I might pump the brakes a little bit. Hang tight real quick, Trey. I've got the 845 caller on the phone. Who's this?
What's good, Smitty? It's Justin.
Justin, what? From where are you at? Where are you at?
I'm in Rockland.
Where?
Rockland.
Okay. What's up, Justin?
Yeah. A quick question. I just want to get your thoughts. I got the 5th pick in my draft, and it makes me want to take a receiver there, like Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson.
What pick?
And then
What pick?
taking running back in in the 8th round.
What pick are you?
What are your thoughts on just P. Ryan and Brian Robinson?
What pick are you?
5th.
5th overall? I don't know that you're getting Jamar Chase or JJ. You're not going to touch one of those guys.
You sure? I mean, the way I see it, it's Bijan, CMC, JJ, Bijan, CMC, Eckler. I get one of the 2 receivers.
I don't know. I mean, ADP has JJ Chase. This is the overall ADP on Underdog. It's a little different. JJ Chase are 1 and 2. And he's not sharing, Chase isn't sharing that 2 with anybody. It's Hill. But hey, maybe your running back heavy little local group is just gonna, go
I got some sharks, man.
Yeah, so I mean, if you get Chase, I mean you're getting in my opinion, the number 1 overall player.
Absolutely. But no, on P. Ryan though. So I love Samaje P. Ryan this year. I just he caught so many passes in Cincinnati. I think he's a great pick. He's a great pick later on.
I like P. Ryan a lot. What are you doing there? Running a mile there, Justin?
No, I'm by the lakeside, brother.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, you got a little wind. I think P. Ryan is a good player, but you sound like the kind of guy, no offense, that's so excited about him that you're going to take him rounds early. you want this guy bad.
You gotta wait on it. You gotta wait on him for him to pay off.
Well, okay, tell me where you think waiting is.
8th round, 9th round.
Okay, P. Ryan is going 106 overall.
What is that? What's the math on that? All right, so yeah, just under the 9th round.
So be careful. Be patient. Don't go grabbing him ahead of like Charbonnet. Charbonnet would be nicer in my opinion, but that's me. If you like
So I had that thought. I don't know about Charbonnet, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's okay. They're close enough to where.
I thought that like Jason or Charbonnet, one or the other is not going to hit.
I mean, maybe. Who knows? But Charbonnet is definitely a home run, win a league secret weapon. Whereas, I mean, P. Ryan's going to probably be heavily involved all year, no matter what happens with Javonte. But Javonte will slowly pull his, some of the duties back from him as the year goes on. So P. Ryan could be a guy that does really well early on and starts to kind of like fizzle a little bit. So I'd be a little careful, but
No, I feel you on that. Long-term play, Charbonnet.
Yeah, long-term play, more of a home run hitter. P. Ryan's going to be steady Eddie in the beginning, maybe get you, some consistency still at the end of the year or middle to end of the year, but he'll definitely I think he'll get a dial back unless Javonte has a setback and he becomes the full-go guy. Not to mention, Denver is backing off the idea of bringing in another running back, which is nice, but there's still that possibility. There's still that possibility they bring in a Zeke or they look at Dalvin Cook. It appears they aren't right now, but we don't know that. A lot of stuff could still happen.
For time, Brian Robertson, what are your thoughts on him? I mean, I haven't heard much about him this offseason, but it just, second-year running back, going to get the goal line work, guaranteed. It's not going to Gibson. Like, what are your thoughts there?
Brian Robinson, P. Ryan, Montgomery, these all feel like the same kind of player to me. There's upside. There always has been upside. Will it continue? Will things continue to go good for him? I don't know. They're kind of they're not stay away for players for me, but I don't find myself like targeting them. Like you're preemptively targeting P. Like one of the three guys you bring up to me is P. Ryan. I like P. Ryan, but I don't know that he's on my mind that much to where like I'm going into a draft and I'm like I'm getting me some P. Ryan.
I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a jump. That's like it's just. I got a gut feeling.
I like him though. But I don't know that I'm like targeting him in every draft or something. But because it's not like he's a steal. He's going in a pretty. It's not bad value, but it's not like he's like Deuce Vaughn's a steal. Like Deuce Vaughn, you can get in every single draft in like round 15, 16, 18. You can get him in round 18. That is a guy that I could see going like I'm going to get him in every draft. Like P. Ryan's costing you sometimes an 8th round pick. Like that is a lot. Like I'm potentially still getting occasionally I'm getting someone insane. Like let me see, in the wide receiver range I'm getting. I don't know. It's tough to say. Sometimes somebody falls like Jameson Williams.
Over him. You take maybe Jameson, take Elijah Moore over him. It all depends on who you take in the first pick for me. That's me at least.
Yeah, I like P. Ryan. I do like P. Ryan. I don't love P. Ryan, and I think that like you might be well served to grab Javonte and P. Ryan together. Maybe if you like P. Ryan that much, you could grab both of them as your running back 2. You could go light at running back 2 all the way to round 7 and take Javonte, and then round 8 take P. Ryan, or round 9 if you can. And then you got to. Yeah. All right, Justin. Appreciate you, man.
Love the show. Take care, buddy.
Later, pal.
Cheers.
Travis Rowe.
How's it going, Smitty?
What's up, man? You're live.
I know we've talked about it before, but when they're bringing up Akers, are you sold on him? Because it seems like everybody I talked to is really high on him, and I'm just like the Achilles just worries me. Like I know he finished really strong, but like last year J-Rob started really strong, and you saw him fall off a cliff too. I know they're different backs, and I think Akers just might be a little younger, but I mean it seems like an awful lot of people are really high on Akers, and I just don't quite see it. I just wanted your thoughts on that.
I mean, okay, so let's go through the history of my Akers, content. So Akers, after his rookie year, which was plagued with injuries, I came out and said that he is one of my top 2 most injury-prone, stay away from, don't go near players in that year he tore his Achilles. Now, I did not predict him to tear his Achilles specifically, but he was pegged as my second most injury-riddled, stay away person not to go near in that year he tore his Achilles. And Achilles players have never become top 10 running backs after their Achilles tear. Never. They've never had one player, and I went through this all offseason with James Robinson and Akers. So what makes me like Akers going into this year? Nothing. I mean, there's some appeal given how late his ADP is, but until we see a player come back from an Achilles tear and become a top 10 running back after the Achilles tear, and D'Onta Foreman's the only player we've really seen play well and look pretty strong, but it took him forever. Like Akers, if Akers was the most injury-prone player to me walking into his Achilles tear year, what on earth makes anyone think that I'm going to be looking at Akers and saying, okay, he's still going to have this Achilles he's working back from and not going to have some sort of complementary injury, some kind of peripheral injury, some kind of hamstring compensation injury. Like, he is absolutely one of the biggest injury risks in fantasy football still. The Achilles being this much removed doesn't just clear him from the rest of his injury history. Not to mention his style. One of the reasons I hated him coming out of college was his style of play is so aggressive to his own body, which aids to the injury, is he lowers his head and he goes head first into defenders constantly. And I don't know if you remember, there was a play last year where he did that, and I believe the D-back is the one that got hurt, but they had to come out. He was not moving for a little bit, and they came out on the field. And it's like he invites contact in the most aggressive ways that you can say he's got heart. And part of him probably learned to run like this because in college he had no offensive line. And on film, he was a beast. Like on film, coming out of college, you watch his film, he was getting hit left and right, getting met at the line of scrimmage, and he lower his head and just bull through people. And he learned to play that way. But he's an absolute wreck, when it comes to that. And I know Hod's just joking by saying this because we know Hod's smarter than this. Hod's joking, by the way. He says AP came back from an Achilles injury.
AP, yeah. I saw that.
No, he didn't. He didn't. An ACL. But it's a running joke. It's a running joke.
I just noticed in the chat throughout the past, 2 weeks, month, whatever, like, I get, like, best ball if you want to take a shot on him. But, there's a lot of people that, like, love Akers, that really like him.
Not me.
And I'm yeah, me neither. And I was just trying to see if I'm missing something here because I just, I like the way he finished last year. That team was a mess. He was getting 23 carries, 19 carries, 21 carries, and half the time they were losing, or like one game they won 151-14. Then they lost the other 2 games. So it's like they're either playing way up or way behind. And I just don't foresee him doing that. And even if he did, like you said, Foreman's been the best that's come back from the Achilles. And
there are very few players that have suffered the Achilles injury. In Prime was joking off of an inside joke last year. Adrian Peterson did not suffer an Achilles tendon tear. He suffered an ACL tear. There's some people that don't know the difference, and then they talk about it. Like, you can't talk about it if you don't know the difference. If you don't know what an ACL tear is versus an Achilles tear, don't come out and say something about Cam Akers. Adrian Peterson suffered an ACL tear.
And ACL sound alike.
Yeah, but Achilles is like the prison injury where they take the shank and hit your Achilles in the back of your heel so you never walk again and you limp around the rest of your days in the prison yard. Like this injury makes you unable to walk the same unless you get like a surgery and they repair it perfectly and all that. But to come out and play football, the reason you'll see and I'm not saying people in sports haven't recovered from it, Kevin Durant, there are a lot of athletes that have returned to form in professional sports with an Achilles tear. But running backs are a different situation because running backs live and die by hitting the hole. And when a running back tears his Achilles and he loses the explosion, he can't hit the hole. And once you lose that step, look at Emmitt Smith, look at Adrian Peterson, look at players like that. When they lost their step, it was weird because mentally they were all smart. Mentally they could have got it done, right? Mentally, Emmitt Smith was still the same player. He's probably smarter. He's probably wiser. But in Arizona, watching him come over and be a shell of himself was hard to watch because it was like he couldn't get there. He couldn't hit the hole. And so when you lose that explosion and the Achilles injury, it crushes your explosion. And it takes so long to get it back. I don't think Akers is quite there yet. He's breaching that territory where he could almost maybe be the first player to ever really return to borderline top 10 running back numbers coming off the Achilles tear. But he's got the injury concern that he doesn't just get rid of because he tore his Achilles. If anything, I'm more worried about him. I'm not saying it's impossible. Like, he's not in that year of recovery coming back in and playing. He played awful, just like I predicted. He would not be anything close to the same the year coming off the Achilles, just like we said over and over and over again on the show. Beating a dead horse as all the Akers truthers came in and said, he'll be fine. This is actually his second year back. No, it wasn't. He rushed himself back in reckless fashion. The same year he tore his Achilles tendon, he came onto the field for a couple games and looked pathetic. It's not that anything should have been different. His expectation level was too high, that he was just going to come out and play football. And I'm surprised he didn't injure himself trying to play too early. It was like 8 months after his Achilles tear. He tried to get on the field, and his coaching staff recklessly let him. He came in and played like 2 games, looked awful, and then came back the next year, and people just thought, oh, it's his second year back. It's not. That was his first year back, and you're never going to be the same, let alone be great that first year back. Could he somehow, some way, keep the job long enough, get to 100%, somehow stave off injury like Frank Gore did? Frank Gore was so injury prone, and then one day he wasn't. Is that possible for Akers? Maybe. But I'm not getting on that train. No way. There's too many other players sitting around. What's Akers' ADP? It's, look, Swift is injury prone too. You know, we easily could use Swift in this bucket. We could say Swift is a guy we would want to stay away from, right? Because of injury. I get that. And if you want to just stay away from injury, period, then certainly that is one of those scenarios where I could see you just going Pacheco. Even though Pacheco runs really hard and is aggressive to his body. But like, you don't want to go near injury at all. Go after Madison. Go after Pacheco. Go after one of those guys instead of Swift or Akers. But I'm more open-minded to Swift staying healthy than Akers because Swift didn't have an Achilles tear. And Swift didn't, they're both very injury prone. Swift's also playing behind the best offensive line in football, plays in the best offense in football. There's a lot more to like about him. But Akers, I'm not going near him. Not when Pacheco's still sitting there. Pacheco's a fantastic play. Even Alvin Kamara facing 4 to 6 game suspension, I'd rather have Alvin Kamara than Akers. I'd rather have Charbonnet, who's guaranteed nothing, over Cam Akers.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Yeah, Akers ADP is 76.9. That's just too high. Way too high, I think.
No, thank you.
All right, thanks, Winnie. I appreciate it.
All right, Travis, appreciate you. All right, guys. Hey, I'm out of here. I'm a little early today, an hour and a half show, but I will be here for the evening show. We're mock drafting, or not mock drafting. Maybe we'll mock draft too, but we're doing live drafts. The Fantasy Football Show. Let's go. Community, we're drafting. I'll see you all tonight. Link is pinned in the live chat. Please click that link if you want to be a part of the live drafts tonight, the Garrett Wilson autographed jersey drafts. Just hit that link in the live chat or in the description that says Underdog. Use code Smitty. The link will insert code Smitty for you. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. I will see you all later. Appreciate all my super chatters. Let's go. Isaac, thank you for that. Isaac says, Sam, McVay forgave Akers. for wanting to be traded. Let him come back, be the starter, and then trade it away. Henderson craziness. Appreciate that super chat. Paul, how about these brass balls? We the people in the chat want a Herbert emoji. Be the bigger guy and don't be led by your hate, says Paul. I don't even know what that means. I like Herbert. I'm not sure what you mean there, Paul, but appreciate your super chat. I think you got me wrong if you think I don't like Herbert. Dynasty 12-team PPR, Burrow, CMC, Saquon, Tony, Pickens, Kincaid, Ramondre, and Sanders at flex. Nice job. Can you win Dynasty? Yeah, you could win. Do I want to get rid of CMC and Saquon? Kind of, but like you can win the championship this year. And you still got some nice future value, so you don't really have to force a trade. You could just ride that out, see how it goes. I mean, what if CMC does play 2 years? I like it. Appreciate you, my boy. Anthony dropping the $20 hauler. Vampy says, thoughts on running back position going extinct. I'm sorry I didn't see some of these. I don't know why my system didn't alert this. Vampy dropping this super chat. Vampy, you still here? Hopefully, Anthony, you saw my message. Paul and Isaac, hopefully you saw that. Thoughts on running back position potentially going extinct? Could we see teams just handing it off to their best athlete like Debo? No, this is a cycle that we hear this every couple years. Look at Bijan, look at Gibbs, and you're always going to have. I mean, two running backs just went in the top 12, and we haven't seen that forever. So that's a real nice sign that the running back position is a cycle. And appreciate you dropping that super chat, Vampy. Thank you. Paul dropping a super chat. The JK and Dobbins name stands for just kidding. Stole the joke from someone. Thank you, Paul. I don't know why these super chats are just rolling in for me now. It's some kind of system delay. Maybe I need to restart my system. I'm sorry, guys. They need to get rid of the franchise tag on 5th-year option. Thank you, Isaac, for dropping that. Paul says D-Hop goes to New England. My Stevenson bold prediction is a lock. These are all coming in right now. I don't know why I didn't see these earlier. D-Hop goes to the Patriots. Mac Jones will be better. I saw that one earlier. So, Paul, did you catch my response? I'm sorry for the delay. Paul, thank you for the 2 super chats. Vampy, appreciate you. Anthony, did you get my 2 responses? Paul, did you get my other response? Isaac, did you hear me? Let me know in the chat that you're still here. I apologize for the delay on that. I'll restart my computer for tonight so that I don't miss any of those super chats when they happen live. I apologize for that.
Law Dog Milk for Maines on sale this season. Soak your mane and win a league. Law Dog Milk.